Hello there everyone, it's your girl Aunt Nuna. Dave's not here right now. Apparently he was deemed an essential worker, so he's at work. My goodness, how much meth did I do today? My sentences are stunted. Anyway, so I decided to do a Q&A because one of my fans demanded it. Never done one of these before, so let's give it a shot. Shoot. This print is so small, I gotta get my glasses. I hope this doesn't make me look too old. Let's see, can I see in these things? This is the last time I buy dollar store glasses. Alright, so anyway, the first question. What was your favorite video game system? You know, the Nintendo Switch today, yeah. It's my favorite. Now, if I'm going old school, I gotta say that goes to the PC Engine, otherwise known as the TurboGrafx 16. It was the superior thing that somehow was eclipsed by Sega and the Super NES back in the day. If I had to make an analogy to it person-wise, I would say that the PC Engine was basically that one really cute guy in high school who got dumped by his ugly girlfriend for an even uglier guy. It just doesn't make sense. Now Sega, they were just tools. The only thing worse than their management was my ex-stepdad to my mom. But that's another story for another time. Let's see, what else? What do you think of Atari? The video game company? That thing that hasn't been relevant since the 70s? Kind of like what's his name? Oh shoot, I'm having a moment. How much DMT did I do? Oh shoot, that guy who was well, anyway. Let's see, Atari. Yeah, they really dropped the ball when it came to video game systems. You know, they disappear for 200 years and they released basically a retro console that plays old games and some new stuff that looks like it could have been from PS2. Yeah, don't even get me started on the Atari Jaguar Lynx. Let's see, they're basically like that one hot guy from high school who just got fat in his 30s and you're like, my goodness, God kind of did me a favor by like avoiding that one. What else? Let's see. What was your scariest sober moment? You know, I get questions all the time about like what's my worst drug moment, but this is the first. I would have to say that it was the time that I actually tried to get sober. I was doing really well, I had just detoxed, and then I went ahead and watched that video with Nicki Minaj and that Tekashi 6ix9ine whatever guy, and I thought I had done DMT without realizing it, combined with shrooms, and I was just overwhelmed. I had just eaten a whole bag of Skittles and I thought, is this what happens when you do drugs and Skittles at the same time? But luckily I started crying and my nephew David like intervened, so yeah, he just told me the video was that weird. What else? Biggest problem with San Antonio. Okay, I live here and I've lived here for a while now. So here's the thing. Girls, if you look like a supermodel, don't go out with dudes who look like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, wearing sports jerseys and shorts that go all the way down to their ankles. You know, people wonder why are we trying to get out of here. You know, I stay because it's so affordable and cheap. And you know, it's reasons why that Nietzsche wrote books. Let's see. Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself really? Well, I think that's a purely contextual question and not to get too political or anything, but if he had black hair dye in a spray can and a My Chemical Romance playing while it happened, then I'm pretty much guessing, yeah, it was suicide. All right. Would Kanye West make a good president? Geez, some really political questions. Well, you know, I'm not beholden to any party, but one issue that comes to mind that I would like to see most people address is the issue of Taiwan. You know, it's understandable that at some points diplomatic relationships were severed because in the 60s and 70s, Chiang Kai-shek initiated his Great White Purge that basically tried to put down any sort of resistance. I mean, I think he got a free pass because he let, you know, Taiwan have a free economy, and he was basically pretty nice to religion, but, you know, he did some messed up stuff. Whereas China in the 1980s, they were doing the whole reforms of Deng Xiaoping, who basically said, it doesn't matter if the cat is black or white, so long as it gets mice, or something like that. So anyway, you know, it wasn't until the late 90s and well after the Tiananmen Square incident that, you know, Taiwan finally embraced democracy. But at that point, you know, they lost a lot of countries that recognized them as the legitimate, you know, government of China and stuff. So, you know, I would really appreciate if he sold the right kinds of equipment to them, and, you know, but I could make a whole video on that subject alone. Let's see, what else? Did you prefer Hollywood Video or Blockbuster back in the day? You know, I'm going to buck the trend and say that Hollywood Video was basically, if I wasn't at home, work, or church, I was there. I kind of like to think that Blockbuster was kind of like Christina and Britney back in the 90s. Everybody talked about him. And Hollywood was kind of like Mandy Moore, who didn't get nearly as much love as she deserved. She was kind of the nice, cute girl that you always tried to set your nephew up with. But yeah, well that wraps up my Q&A. See y'all later. Good night, everybody.